Will you pray with me, please? God of radiance and brilliance and wonder, shine upon us with great assurance this day. Open our hearts, open our ears to receive and hear what you have to say to us. May it be so always. Amen. Today is Transfiguration Sunday, which is a big deal in the Christian calendar because this is the Sunday between what has been Epiphany, light, hope, peace, joy, all the really great things, the season of light. Then we have today, and then we transition into what season? Lent. And Lent prepares us for what?
Easter.
Correct. Got to go through the hard stuff to know what the good stuff feels like. I was told once in seminary, it's really hard to understand God's grace unless you've been to the pit of the well. You can't understand how much good things are good until you've had some rough things to experience. And so Lent is not necessarily pitting us into the hard things, but kind of it is. We're going to talk about hard subjects. We're going to work through 6 weeks of really coming toward and forth to our vulnerability of being mortals, being humans. And so part of what I mentioned in my ministry moments is creating space for God during this season is so critical to your success through Lent, so that when Easter comes, you have this empowerment. And so whatever you are thinking about for your Lenten practice, my dad gave up chocolate. I think still to this day, he gives up chocolate. And at midnight on Easter morning, we'd always have a chocolate milkshake together for as long as I can remember. So I don't know what yours is. Is it a tradition or what it is? I've been thinking about my practice, and I think what I've come to is every day I'm going to challenge myself to add a minute of quiet. So starting on day 1 is 1 minute of quiet, no phone, no TV, sitting somewhere, no cars, somewhere in nature. And then every day, so by the end of it, ideally it'd be like 47 minutes of quiet, which terrifies me because I'm really not looking forward to that. But I do realize I need it. And that to me feels like it's a habit that I'm building and not throwing myself into something. So I don't know if you're thinking about a habit you'd like to build or a spiritual practice you'd like. This is a great chance to do so. And so if you have any questions or like to talk about it, I'd be happy to converse with you. So that's about Lent. And that's where we're moving into. But we have been in the season of light, where if you have not grabbed your star, I feel like I'm just promoting so many things right now. We have a basket in the back. If you are new or haven't been here or lost your star, I won't judge you if you have. Take one. It has a word on it. Let it inspire you for the rest of the year. My word is not forgiveness, like it says here. Mine is inventive, and I still don't know what I'm doing with it, but I have it. And so here, who has their stars somewhere still? Hey, very nice. If you would like to grab one, please do so. They're on your way out. You can grab it, put it somewhere so you can remember. We also have back there, what is that big brown thing that's by the front door?
Bell.
Baptismal font, correct. And what's in it?
Water
is a good one. And shells. If you need just a little pick-me-up and you have not received a shell, please take one to remember either your baptism or to just remember you are beloved. Touch the water. It is still good. It is still holy. It was blessed by our kids. I just refill it. You know, like sourdough starter, you only need one little piece to like make it so that it's been 100-year-old sourdough that you baked with. That's a 7-week-old water that's been blessed. So please bless yourselves. Be blessed by God. And anything else up here that I need to make? Oh, the fish. Do we remember what we talked about with the fish?
What Jesus represents.
What Jesus represents, let me remind you. All right, so some of you wrote down things you had to let go of. We have a lot of things we got to let go of, and it is good to remember what you might have said during this upcoming season of Lent. I will preach about the Transfiguration. Just give me a moment. I'm really into this right now. What do you need to let go of? Stress. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah. Fear of the unknown. Oh, big amen to that. The news. Okay, I mean, great. This is fear. There's political division, fear and self-doubt. We're trying to let go of hurt. We're trying to let go of laziness. These are things that you all have written. We're trying to let go of rejection, of judgment, anxiety, of money. Oh man, that'd be nice. Of fear. Wow, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of people scared. And we live in a very privileged place. We are in a privileged church. So if we're feeling fear, imagine what other people in very high stakes place and in marginalized communities are feeling. These are things that are real for us. They're real for our neighbors. They're real across the board. And today, we are at that hinge where how do we let it go so that when we're here at Easter, we are ready to receive the goodness of the resurrection? Because all of this will bog it down. It'll be hard to accept the goodness that is to come when we are riddled with these heavy, heavy, real things. So if you'd like a fish, there are a few back there. You can write down what is weighing you down. And you can offer it up. Let it go. Because the season that we're moving into, we need today to prepare. Today with Transfiguration Sunday, it isn't just dazzling Jesus and move on. This is the day of transformation. This, according to Matthew, is where Jesus takes his 3 guys, Peter, James, and John, leads them up to a mountain. They reach the top. The atmosphere shifts. And suddenly, Jesus is transfigured, transformed before them. So fierce, this light, that it blinds them. His clothes become white, face shining like the sun. This isn't just a spotlight on Jesus. This is God radiating from within out into the world. And then say that's not enough. Let's throw in Moses and Elijah. So they're standing there talking with Jesus and they're thinking about, how does this make sense? Why are Moses and Elijah here? Moses, the giver of the law. Elijah, the greatest of prophets, standing there in this brilliance. They represent all of this history, all of this witness. The disciples, of course, are overwhelmed. And Peter, our beloved Peter, who is the classic human panic disciple, he tries to fix this moment and say, oh yeah, I'm going to build some tents for you and a tent for you. I'm going to keep you all here. We're just going to stay huddled nice on this mountaintop and feel good in this dazzling moment. In the middle of his whatever spiel he's saying, God says, hey, this is my son, my beloved. With him I am well pleased. Amy talked about this in her children's moment. Where else have we heard that language from God?
Baptism.
At Jesus' baptism, the clouds broke open, the Spirit came down, and God said, you are my beloved. With you I am well pleased. Most churches, and I've preached sermons like what I'm going to talk about, is that we approach this with a backseat view and we talk about Moses and we talk about Elijah, we talk about the tents. It's not about that. It is about Jesus transforming, about our God dazzling. And we, from the safety of our pews, say, oh yes, let's dig deep into the meaning, let's dig deep into Moses and then Elijah, into the tents and into Peter's reaction. But that backseat view completely forgets that it's not a lesson for the disciples in this moment. This is the transformation of Jesus. Jesus changing form in this hinge moment, on this threshold. So moving away from the backseat and into the threshold, this place of transition, we are seeing Jesus from who he was to who he's becoming, much like us. Who we've been in the season of light, going into Lent, a season of mortality. This threshold is so critical for the humanity of Jesus. Because we often, as a church, put Jesus on this pedestal that cannot be touched, will not, cannot even be reached. We tend to think of Jesus as a static, finished project. He's unchanging. He's invincible. But Jesus isn't fully divine only. He's also fully human. And the Gospels do their best to play with that balance, that he grew in wisdom and he grew in stature, but he also grew in divinity. But his humanity we forget so quickly because we want him to be that unchanging, invincible figure. But why it's so important he remains human is that he connects with us. There's a reason why we're drawn to Jesus in such a way. Because he is like us. He can feel. He has emotions. He has thought. He has feelings. And he too needs assurance. He has done great things in Galilee. He has done glorious ministries. He also knows what's to come on that cross. And so this transfiguration of God radiating from without, of God speaking to Jesus, it was like Jesus leaning in to his parent, leaning in to the comfort of someone you love. He was living and breathing and evolving and needed assurance from the one person who understood what he was going through. Jesus, even, maybe especially Jesus, he too was changing, transforming, not static at all. And in the moment of this intense change and looming suffering, we see God show up. God broke through and said, "You are beloved. You, this very important identity I gave you at your baptism, it's still true now, even with the hardship coming up. Because that honeymoon Galilee phase is over." Jesus just told his friends he's going to be rejected and killed. And the weight of that news is absolutely crushing. So now he's not just a teacher, he's a man walking toward a shadow, walking into the danger. And God says, "And still, you are beloved." Have you ever just needed your parents in a moment of great doubt or fear or overwhelming or anxiety, and you just want to call maybe your parent, maybe a friend, maybe someone, a spouse? I so desperately wish my grandma was still alive because she's who I want to call. When I'm on the road, when I'm just thinking about life, when I am really in need of just a good, calm word, she's who I want. I don't have her, and I'm sure a lot of us don't have those people. But someone in your life assures you when you are struggling. Jesus needed that assurance. He needed to be reminded that he's not just about the power, he's not just about miracles, he's not just about divinity. He is in fact beloved, worthy, and everything will be okay. Even Jesus needed support. Even Jesus, the Son of God, needed to be reminded that he was loved and he could face the trial ahead. We treat our faith so frequently like a battery that we just have to charge every once in a while, maybe. Or we think of it if we're real Christians, or we're strong enough, or if we are good enough, or we have enough grace that we don't ever need to be told we're loved more than once. Now, I don't know who does that, because I need to be told I'm loved and seen a lot. Because the critic in my brain is really loud. We buy into this myth that we can just sustain ourselves, that we have all that we need, that we don't need any outside people. And we white knuckle our way through the mountain and the grief and the change, and we don't ask for help. But if we look at this mountaintop, Jesus, the architect of our faith, the Son of God himself, needed assurance, needed a parental moment of pause, needed to know that he was loved. This tells us that belovedness is not a static status. It's continuous. It's a life-giving stream of grace, and it's a river we have to go back to and dip our toes into. Whether you're changing careers or grieving a loss or aging is hard or your kids are just frustrating you, whether you're trying to be a better person in this very cynical world or whether you're just kind of cruising because you don't know what else to do. This culture tells us we have to have it all together. But this transfiguration tells us that we are still changing and we need to step into the space where we're reminded that we're beloved. We have to stop trying to survive on fumes, on that grace that we got 10 years ago. Where's the grace now for you? It's right here. We have to stop trying to prove that we're strong enough to walk alone, that we don't need people alongside us, that we can do it ourselves. Even Jesus couldn't do it by himself. What makes us think that we would be able to? So if you're in the middle of a change or in the middle of a shift, or you're in some threshold where the mountains feel too big or the road feels too steep, know that you're in good company, good, holy company. Know that you are worthy of belovedness. You're worthy of God coming down and saying, you got this. You're good. Yeah, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really difficult. But I'm there. You don't need to be stronger just by yourself. Let me help you. So put away all of those things where it's telling you that you're not good enough, that you aren't supported enough. Because Jesus had to put that aside. Jesus had to come up and be dazzled and be seen. Know that the same voice that offered the empowerment to Jesus on that mountaintop and every day is here with you. But are you listening? Have you filled your life with so much noise that you can't even hear the beloved, I am proud of you statement? Lent provides a good opportunity to find some quiet and listen to God. So on your journey, through your transformation, through every shadow that's coming, every piece of ministry you pour your heart into, know this. You are held by the same promise that sustained Jesus in his ministry. You are seen, you are loved, you are worthy, you are beloved. And that, let us take that with us toward the resurrection. Thanks be to God.